Next we will discuss the second topic in the cellular telephony. Okay. Here in this second topic we will discuss the different generations of cellular mobile systems. Okay. So in this first we will discuss the 1G, that is the first generation of the cellular system. Okay. So in that the first point is uh, the first generation was designed for the voice communication using the analog signal. Okay, so here the first generation, whatever the first generation cellular system, we have to mainly use for the uh, voice communication. Okay, by using the analog signal, means here we have to sending or uh, exchanging the voice signals through the analog signals. Okay, or exchanging the data through the analog signals in this first generation. Okay, so that is the first point. The first generation was mainly designed for the voice communication using the analog signals. Okay, so here two cellular system has communicated through the analog signals. Okay, and next year we have to using the one of the standard for the this analog cellular system, that what we have to call as a advanced mobile phone system. Okay, so this is one of the analog cellular system. Okay, so this is mainly use the technique called as a FDMA, that is the frequency division multiple access. Okay, so this will divides the available bandwidth of the link into the channels. Okay, each channel have a different frequency band. Okay, so by using those frequency band, we need to assign those frequency band to the each station, and each station use that frequency band to send the analog signals to the receiver. Okay, so that's why we have to use the FDMA technique in this first generation of the cellular system, that is a FDMA, frequency division multiple access. So this is the one of the access method. By using this access method, two cellular system will communicate through the analog signals. Okay, and next we will discuss the bands. Okay, so here these are two types of a communication channels are there. The first one is the forward communication channel, second one is the reverse communication channel. Okay, so in this forward communication channel means here it is a base station to mobile station communication, that what we have to call as a forward communication. Okay, from base station to mobile station communication we have to call as a forward communication, and reverse communication is nothing but the it is a mobile station to base station communication. Okay, mobile station to base station communication we have to call as it is a reverse communication. Okay, so here we have to allocated the separate band for each channel or the each communication. Okay, so for the forward communication we have to assign the band or the frequency range between the 869 and the 894 megahertz. Okay, so between that we have to assign the frequency for the forward communication channel. Okay, so here the what is the total bandwidth, so you have to take the highest frequency minus lowest. So highest frequency is here 894 and the lowest is the 869. Okay, you make the subtraction, then you will get the 25 megahertz. Okay, so this is the what bandwidth of the forward communication channel. That bandwidth we need to allocate it for the forward communication channel. Okay, and next one is a reverse communication, that is a mobile to the base station communication. So here we have to allocate the frequency range between the 824 and the 849. Okay, so here also you have to take the difference of the difference between the highest frequency and the lowest. So here 849 minus 824, here also will get the 25 megahertz. Okay, means each communication channel has a bandwidth 25 megahertz. 25 megahertz we need to allocate to the reverse communication, and 25 megahertz we need to allocate the forward communication. Okay, so next here the each band is divided into the 32 channel. Okay, so each forward communication channel or the each band we have to allocate it for the reverse communication, and each band we have to allocate it for the forward communication. We need to divide it into the 832 channels. Okay, so here whatever the channels, the whatever the forward communication channel, okay, that we need to divide it into the 832 channels, and also the reverse communication channel also we need to divide it into the 832 channels. Okay, means whatever the band we have to allocate it for the reverse communication, and whatever the band we have to allocate it for the forward communication, we need to divide it into the 832 channels. Okay, and after that, if two providers can share the area, then both 16 channels in each cell for the each provider. Okay, so we have already discussed the what is the cell. Okay, cell means we need to divide the cellular area into the uh, you need to divide the cellular area into the individual cells. Okay, so here if the particular cell has contains the base station, and base station has mounted with the some antenna. Okay, so if there is a two antennas are present, one antenna we have to use as a Vodafone, another one is a Airtel, then there is a two service providers are present. Okay, there is a two service provider are present in the each cell. Okay, then we need to divide these 832 channel among those providers. Okay, means we need to allocate for 16 channels to each provider in each cell. Okay, there is a two providers are present in the each cell, then we need to assign the port 16 channel for the each provider in the each cell. Okay, and among those port 16 channel, 21 channel we have to use for the control purpose, or we have to use the as a control channels. Okay, and 395 remaining, that is a 395 channels we have to mainly use for the voice communication, or we have to use as a voice channels. Okay, and next is the advanced mobile phone system uses the frequency reuse factor of a 7. Already discussed the reuse factor of a 7. So here in that we have divided the, or we have to group the cells, or we have to group the 7 cells, or we have to created the cluster of 7 cells. Okay, and each group, each cell in the each group has contained the unique set of frequencies. Okay, if there is a cells which are contain the same number, then those cell has used the same frequency set. Okay, that already we have discussed in the previous video lecture, that what we have to call as a reuse factor of 7. Reuse factor of 7 is a one of the frequency reuse pattern. Okay, so here we need to group the, or we need to create the cluster of 7 cells. Okay, and each cell under that, okay, each cell under the each group has contains the unique set of a frequency. Okay, so that's why here AMPC, that is a advanced mobile phoning system, has used the reuse factor of a 7. Okay, so this is the what. Okay, so this is the what first generation mobile pictures. Okay, so like a walkie-talkie. Okay, antennas are present. Okay, it is look like a walkie-talkie. So here only we can use for the voice communication. Through this first generation cellular system, we cannot send the any messages, or we cannot access the internet. Okay, so those types of a mobile we have to call as a first generation mobile or cellular systems. Okay, so next we'll discuss through the diagram here. Okay, so here okay, so this is a cellular bands of the, it is a cellular bands of the advanced mobile phoning system. So here in this diagram there is a two channels, as already told. There is a forward communication channel and a reverse communication channel. Okay, so powered communication is nothing but, as I already told, that it is the communication from the base to the mobile system. That communication we have to call as a powered communication, and reverse communication is nothing but it is the base to the mobile station. That what we have to call as a reverse communication. Okay, so for the forward communication we have to allocate the band. Okay, between the 869 and the 894 megahertz. Okay, and for the reverse communication we have to allocated the band between 824 and 849. Okay, so means we have to allocated the each band. For the each band we have allocated the 25 megahertz bandwidth for the each communication channel. For the forward communication and for the reverse communication we have allocated the 25 megahertz bandwidth. Means we have to take the difference between the highest frequency and the lowest frequency. Based on that we have calculated the bandwidth, that is a 25 megahertz for the each channel. Okay, and that 25 megahertz we have to divide it into the, okay, that 25 megahertz we have divided into the 832 channels. Okay, as already told, each band or the each channel means forward communication channel and the reverse communication channel we have to divide it into the 832 channels. Okay, and each channel has a 30 kilohertz bandwidth. Okay, so whatever the 832 channels are there, each channel bandwidth is a 32 kilohertz. Okay, so here if there is a two service provider is there, then you have to divide it by 832, means 416 channels we have to allocate it for the each service provider. Among that 21 channels we have to use for the control purpose, and the remaining 395 we have to use for the voice purpose, for the voice communication. Okay, so this is the what this particular diagram will indicate. There is a cellular bands for the EMPs. There is a two communication channel, forward communication channel and the reverse communication channel. For the forward communication channel we have to allocate the bandwidth between 869 and 894 frequency range. Okay, and for the reverse we have to allocate the frequency range between the 824 and the 849. So totally we have to allocate the 25 megahertz for the each communication channel. That communication channel we have to divide it into the 832 channels, and each channel has a 32 kilohertz bandwidth. Okay, so this is a cellular it is a diagram for the bands, that is cellular bands of the advanced mobile phoning system. Okay, so next this is a last point in the first generation, that is a transmission. Okay, so here in the transmission we have to perform the modulation. We will need to modulate the signal before transmitting the signal. Okay, so for that purpose we have to using the two modulation techniques we have to using here. Okay, to modulate the signals before transmitting. Okay, so we have to using the frequency modulation and frequency shift keying, a modulation technique we have to use for to modulating the signal before transmitting to the receiver. Okay, so here they have given the diagram here. Okay, so here I already told that there is a some of the channels we have to use for the control purpose, and some of the channels we have to use for the voice communication. Okay, so here control channel means first I will tell what is the difference between the FSK and the frequency modulation. Frequency modulation we have to mainly use for the modulating the analog signals. Okay, and the frequency shift keying we have to mainly use for to modulating the digital signals. Okay, frequency modulation for the analog signal, modulating the analog signals, and the frequency shift keying we have to use for modulating the digital signals. Okay, means from these both technique we need to only vary the frequency value. Okay, phase and amplitude remain constant. Okay, as already we have discussed in the previous modules. Okay, so here what happened, there is a control signals. Okay, so there is a control signals and also Y signals are there. Okay, so here these control signals are the digital signals here. Okay, so these digital signals we have to modulating through the frequency shift keying. Okay, and these Y signals are the analog signals, these we have to modulating through the frequency modulation technique. Okay, So here what happened, we need to because of it is a control signals are the digital signals, so that can be represented by the bandwidth as a 10 kbps. In the kbps we have to use as a unit for the digital signals, okay, to represent the bandwidth, okay. And for the y signals are the analog signals, so that's why we have to using the kilohertz to represent the bandwidth, okay. And here what happen, by using the frequency shift keying, okay, we have to modulating the control signals of 10 kbps into the 30 kilohertz analog signals, okay. By using the frequency shift keying, we are modulating the 10 kbps control signal into the 30 kilohertz analog signals, okay. We already discussed frequency shifting means it is a digital to analog conversion, okay. So that's why it will convert the digital to the analog, okay. And here fm is nothing but it is an analog to analog conversion, okay. So here the y signals 3 kilohertz we have to modulating to the 30 kilohertz analog signals by using the frequency modulation, okay. So as I already told, the frequency modulation is nothing but it is the analog to analog conversion. Here input is also analog and output is also analog, but in frequency shift keying what happen, input is a digital and output is a analog, that is a digital to analog conversion, okay. So in this way the frequency modulation we have to use for to modulating the control signals, okay. And sorry, frequency modulation we have to use for the modulating the analog signals, okay. And frequency shift keying we have to use for the modulating the digital signals, okay. And after that we have to use the so after that here we have to use the FDMA technique, okay. So here the FDMA technique, it is a nothing but the frequency division multiple axis, as already in the previous slide I told that, okay. So frequency division multiple axis means we have to divide the available bandwidth into the different frequency bands, and each frequency band we have to allocate it to the each station for the transmission, okay. So here by using this FDMA technique we have to divide this 25 megahertz channel, okay. So this is a channel is nothing but it is a diagram for the reverse communication channel, okay. I already told that each communication channel has each communication channel has a divided into the 832 channels, okay. The forward communication we have to divide it into the 832 channels, and the reverse communication channel we have to divide it into the 832 channels, okay. So here you have to using the reverse communication channel means what is the bandwidth allocated for the each communication channel, as we previously discussed, that is a 25 megahertz, okay. So by using the frequency division multiplexing we need to divide this 25 megahertz reverse communication bandwidth into the 832 channels, and each channel has a 32 kilohertz bandwidth, okay. So as we previously discussed that the reverse communication has a 832 channels, and the powered communication has a 832 channels, okay. So this diagram has been representing the reverse communication channel, okay. So that's why we are by using the frequency division multiplexing, so whatever the total bandwidth we have to allocate it for the reverse communication channel, that is a 25 megahertz, as previously we discussed, that is a we have to assign some bands, okay. By taking the difference between the highest frequency and the lowest frequency we will get the 25 megahertz as a bandwidth for the reverse communication channel, okay. And by using the FDMA frequency division multiplexing we need to divide this 25 megahertz bandwidth into the 832 channels, and each channel has a 30 kilohertz bandwidth, okay. So in this we have to use the frequency modulation and the frequency shift keying technique for modulating the signals, okay, before transmitting to the receiver, and FDMA technique we have to use for to divide the 25 megahertz channel into the 30 kilohertz channel.